Hello, everyone. I'm back in black. I hit the sack. Been gone too long, and I'm glad to be back. The cat does have 9 lives in Cat's eyes, and he's currently snoozing in bed like he's the Gumby cat from Cats the musical. But I hope everyone is doing well. I am struggling to stay awake, to be honest with you. I have been up since 3 o'clock this morning. I typically get up very early because I have a lot to do, work or in the apartment. So, yeah, I've been up for like 6.5 hours now. Please send caffeine, chocolate, bacon, and Huggies. I could use all three at the moment, or four, whatever the heck that was. But I wanted to cover this article, and I actually came across it because of this. See if it comes through. This tweet from Angelina Christina, who says there is not a thing in the world you could do to convince me to read this article. See, there's nothing to convince her to read it. I am very different, but I just want to thank her and thank all those who like retweeted her and everything. So it ended up in my uh, feed, I guess you could say. So I've read this article. I actually read it last night and I wanted to make a video last night about it, but I was just so tired last night. It was like you could put my favorite food under my nose and I was not going to get out of bed tired. Like I did not have the energy to like think tired. So I figured let me do this now. Now, my biggest issue with this is the what I feel is the pointless virtue signal. There's two issues I take with what this dad is doing by altering his daughter's Disney princess books that I'm assuming he or someone in his family, maybe the child's mother, I don't know, is buying for her. Is that one? I feel that he's making a stink over nothing, right? There's nothing wrong inherently with gendered expectations or gender stereotypes. The problem with these things are people, right? People trying to use these type of things in a very authoritarian way is typically the issue when it comes to gender stereotypes or gendered expectations, gender roles, all that type of stuff. But there's nothing inherently wrong with them, right? They've existed for as long as humans and societies have existed, right? You can look through any culture, any religion, any part of history. There's always gendered expectations, roles, and uh, stuff like that, right? Certain tasks that are associated generally to various genders, right? To the, like for example, men go and they fight or they build things. Women, raise the kids, they keep house or whatever it is, right? And the thing is that these gendered expectations or roles change, right? And I will get into that. But my main two issues are that one, he's virtue signaling, in my opinion. And two, as much as I usually am not one of those think of the children type people, in this case, it's like, yeah, really, he should be thinking of the children. In particular, he should be thinking of his daughter because, in my opinion, for whatever supposed bad example that the Disney princesses are setting, and this whole, in my opinion, bad faith take about the Disney princesses, in particular the ones from the 90s Renaissance, which is the ones I'm most familiar with, right? There has long been this bad faith take, right, about the Disney princesses in general, right? The only one who kind of avoids it is Mulan because her whole thing was about defying the standards of her day, right? So she's probably like she's more like honestly she's more of like a military general than she is a Disney princess per se, right? But they include her in the princess line because it makes money, right? And people like the character, and of course there's the appeal to China because it's an adaptation of a classic Chinese folklore. So yeah, and the '98 version is much better than the 2020 version by a long shot. So, but anyway, let's get into the article, right? So it says here a dad feels that his daughter's Disney princess books are full of gender stereotypes, and now his alterations are going viral. Father and TikToker at D. Caspers has gained millions of views and thousands of comments for his ongoing series detailing the edits he makes to his daughter's leveled readers. So I'm assuming that means children's books. But some of his edits are stirring up controversy with TikTokers. So let's continue. Scroll. Come on, scroll. Thank you. Now, I'm not going to play the video because I'm already having issues with my computer, and for whatever reason, whenever I try to play video while recording a video, it never turns out right. But the videos in the article, I'll leave a link in the description, but I just want to cover the article itself. So it says here in his series, D. Casper's photoshops pages from his daughter step into reading books featuring the Disney princesses. Part 5 of his now viral series features Ariel from The Little Mermaid. In the original book, she's struggling to bake a cake for Prince Eric, something D. Caspers takes issue with. Ariel changes her body, leaves her friends and family, and now she's baking, all for him, he writes. Let's address this first part. This is not entirely accurate. And I speak as somebody who's actually not a big fan of The Little Mermaid. I don't like that movie. I don't like Ariel in particular. Because even as a little kid, I'm like, girl, why are you so silly? Why are you listening to Ursula? Like, the only thing I really like out of The Little Mermaid is Ursula. But even I, especially looking at it through an adult's eyes, right, know that Ariel doesn't change her body just for Prince Eric, right? She expresses very early in the film that she has a fascination with the land, right? What's on land, right? Right. She has a fascination with going topside, right? She's been collecting all of these things from the world above her, and actually what drives her into finally, sort of defying her father and making that choice and going to Ariel, not going to Ariel, going to Ursula, right? Is when King Triton destroys the grotto, right? Destroys everything she had collected. People always want to criticize Ariel because of the fact that she had a crush. Apparently for getting all the stupid things you do, right? For a crush, right? But they also want to discount the fact that she did have her own motivation, right, of wanting to be on land outside of Prince Eric. It wasn't just him, right? Sure, he was a large part of it. That's understandable, but it wasn't just him, right? So I take issue with this. Was he a part of her motivations? Yes. After all, there's a reason why Ursula uses his image during the poor unfortunate soul sequence. But it wasn't just him. You want to say mainly him? Okay. But it wasn't just him. And guess what? She still got the man in the end. She freaking got married and he's a prince, so it's like she did pretty dang well for herself. Excuse her for, falling in love. My god. But anyway, it says here the dad then demonstrates the changes he makes to the book. And I've watched the TikTok, the way they describe it here is accurate. Right? Instead of holding a piping bag full of icing, Ariel now holds a hot slice of delivery pizza. And rather than enjoying the former mermaid's cake together, Prince Eric now eats his pizza with a fork, while Ariel scrolls on TikTok where she finds a new love. So this is nice, right? You alter the book, he alters the book for no reason. And not only that, right, instead of Ariel making a cake, right, putting in that personal effort, right, to make something that her husband, they get married at the end of the film, right, would like, right, making his, I'm assuming like his like favorite dish or whatever it is, right, his favorite dessert, which is something that plenty of men and women do for each other when they're in a romantic relationship. especially if they're very happy in that romantic relationship, right? But instead of, showing her putting that love and care and personal investment, right? Taking the time out to make a cake and to actually be, a bit concerned, right? Like really wanting him to like this because that's her husband and she wants him to be happy with the things that she does for him, right? Like any sane person would. Instead, now you have her take the easy way out, right? Because if she orders pizza, right, it's not something she has to do herself. That personal element is removed, right? So first there's that. And then there's the fact that they're not even sharing the pizza together, right? So now not only does she not do something personal for Eric, right? She now won't even share a meal with him, you know, because that is totes, signs of a healthy relationship when you won't share a meal with with your own husband, right? I mean that's totes healthy. When you two live in the same home and you're not sharing a meal together, right? A chance where they could bond, right? Have some pizza, laugh, talk. No, 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 no. He eats his pizza alone, right? And Ariel's scrolling on TikTok where she finds a new love. So this is the standard that this man wants to set for his daughter. So he says that if you're a woman, you shouldn't do anything special for your husband, right? You shouldn't do anything special for him. You shouldn't have any personal investment. You shouldn't try and make something to give to him to present to him as a token of your love and affection and all that, right? Shouldn't do that. You should just take the easy way out, order something, right? And not only that, don't share the item that you ordered when it could easily be shared. In this case, a pizza. And, while he's eating his pizza by himself, go on your phone and go on TikTok or Tinder or whatever it is and try to find a new love. Especially when you're married to a man who's good to you, right? It's like this whole like find a new love part like gets under my skin because first of all, it sets the wrong example about women or what a young girl should do or be or the lesson that she should learn. Because to me, this whole thing is just plain selfishness. He's talking about he's defying gender stereotypes by not having her bake, but he's also teaching his daughter via altering the original story in these books that being selfish and being uninterested, right, toward a boy, especially a boy that you're in a relationship with, is okay, and that you should just openly basically look to cheat on him, right? Even if he's good to you, it's like for the new love thing, it's like if you're gonna do that, at least use Belle because Belle and the Beast didn't get along at first, and he was a jerk. So it's like if anyone, and I'm not saying it's right, but like if anyone had a motivation to do that type of thing, it would be Belle. She wouldn't do it, but if anyone has a motivation to do it, it would be her. But it sure as hell would not be Ariel, the 16-year-old dreamy girl who's with the who's fallen in love for the very first time and got to marry the man. She's basically living like I'm not gonna say every teenage girl's fantasy, but a lot of teenage girls' fantasies, right? Marrying a older, I think Eric's older, strong, handsome prince. But no, totally wreck all that. Wreck your happy home, your happy relationship for some rando you find on TikTok or Tinder if this were more adult. Sure, that makes sense. That's a wonderful example. Wonderful example to set for your child. Those are exactly the type of qualities you want a young woman to be raised up with, especially you as a father want her to treat other men this way. Because guess what? Right? If luck is on your side, your daughter will grow up, and if she's interested in men, There's a very strong possibility that one day she might make a man her husband. She might make a man a father, right? She could have children with a man, and you want her to treat him like this? Is this what you're saying? Do you like if I knew this dude, I'd be like, would you want your daughter to follow this example when it comes to you personally, right? Like instead of making you a special gift on your birthday or on a holiday, you want her to just cheap out and get something simple and then like pay you no attention. Would you appreciate that? I don't think he would, but who knows? But I do think that this is a terrible example to set for young girls. Right? People talk about the like low quality women today, and it's like this is how we get started. This is how we get started. Scroll. Here we go. In another popular video, D. Caspers focuses on Tiana from Princess and the Frog. In the original video, Tiana is seen baking for and sharing cookies with Prince Naveen. But after D. Caspers edits, Tiana has a tray of nachos all for herself and refuses to share with the prince. I mean, that's just a wonderful example to set for your daughter, right? Again, instead of doing something sweet and kind for someone that she likes, right, in particular a boy, right, that she likes, instead teach her via these animated females, right, that you should be selfish, right, and you should keep all the nachos for yourself, and you shouldn't share, and you certainly shouldn't share with those mean, nasty boys. This type of thing is ridiculous, in my opinion. And the thing is that this sets a worse example than any of the supposedly problematic elements or gender stereotypes of the Disney princesses, that argument alone I find incredibly irritating. Oh, Belle has Stockholm Syndrome. It's like you didn't notice the part where she yells at the beast in the first part of the film, did you? Right? Belle never rewards bad behavior. She and the beast only start developing a positive relationship after the wolf attack, when he finally realizes just how wrong he's been and he tries to make amends, right? The second half of the film is more or less his redemption story, and that's where the real love story kicks in. But no, let's totally forget the first part of the film and just claim she has Stockholm syndrome. Oh no, how dare a woman fall in love? But there's that, and then of course what was it? Aladdin, right? The 2020 or 2019 Aladdin film where they gave Jasmine a song of her own, right? Instead of just having the love song duet. Which, okay, fine. There was I had no issue in and of itself with Jasmine getting her own number that was not related to Aladdin. That was fine. I had no issue with that. My issue was that the song was called Speechless, and that they were supposedly addressing how Jasmine had no agency, and I'm like, did you watch the original Aladdin film? The girl was outright defiant. There was literally a scene right after the Prince Ali number where Aladdin is Prince Ali, her father the Sultan, and Jafar are all more or less arguing about her fate, and she literally comes out and screams at all three of them, "I am not a prize to be won." And yet, and think about it, she defied her father when she snuck out of the castle, right? Because she was so lonely and she was so tired of being cooped up. But the issue here is that she's speechless and she needs her own number because she was totes oppressed in the original one, where she at the end of the film is the one determining that she would like to get married, but not right now, right? And that she's going to marry Aladdin, the commoner who's been lying this whole damn time. But yeah, she's totally speechless, never had any agency. Sure, sure, Jan, sure. Right. I could go on. I could go on. Let's continue. Right. So says while his videos have garnered millions of collective views, not everyone on TikTok agrees with his edits. Not everyone outside of TikTok agrees either. I don't agree. Oh, come on. So it says here, just don't buy the book if it offends you. Many TikTokers are applauding D. Casper's alterations, but some feel his edits are more harmful. I would agree. Than Disney's original work. I would agree. You are such a great dad. If this is what we should teach our daughters, not that women do the cooking, cleaning, and chores, lauded one user. Especially in today's world, these tasks are largely unisex. Because, people got to eat, people got chores to do, and people got to clean. And especially for men or women, who, due to circumstances, right, they're the principal caretaker in their home, right? Whether it's because they have kids or they're looking after family members or whatever it is, right? Like part of the reason why I never get a chance to rest is because I am doing a lot of the cooking and cleaning and chores in my own home, and it's not just for myself because I live with a sick individual, and even though we do get help, thank God, I still have to do a lot of stuff. So forgive me for being a woman who indeed has to do these mundane things. Next time I'll change my gender and make you feel better. But anyway, and then it says, honestly, I love this. I can't stand stereotypes. And for Disney to use them when most little kids look up to love them is awful. You're amazing. Somebody tell me how he's amazing by replacing the supposedly harmful stereotypes with sincerely harmful behavior. Whether he realizes it or not, he's teaching his daughter selfishness and potentially a brand of sexism, right? Be nice to girls, don't be nice to boys. Share with girls, don't share with boys, right? Don't do nice things for the boys in your life. Don't do nice things for boys even if you like them, even if they're your friend or your boyfriend or your husband or anything like that. I'd like to believe that he doesn't intend to send this message to her, but this is exactly the type of message she could be very well picking up, and not just picking up now, but carrying on through her life. Right? People want to talk about, the media representation of women and all this other stuff, but nobody wants to talk about the influences that parents have on their own children. Because again, he's the one altering the book. Disney's not selling the book with these lessons in it, right? He's the one buying the book, or someone is buying the book for his daughter, and he's deciding that for internet likes, he's going to alter the book to teach his daughter more problematic behaviors and views than any gender stereotype any of the 90s Disney princesses could ever represent. This is more problematic than they could ever be, but this gets applauded. I've been watching too much Uncle Roger lately, and now I feel like Uncle in like Jackie Chan Adventures. But anyway, it says while he eats his pizza, While he eats his pizza, she found an interesting book on the internet. I think that's better. Except that's not what happened. It specifically says that she's on TikTok looking for a new love. So she's not reading a book. It'd be nice if she were reading a book, but she's not. What's wrong with what would be even better if she was reading a book with Eric? Like, you know how Belle and the Beast read together and we see that in the film? That would be a nice bonding experience for Ariel and Eric, right? But no, we can't have girls bonding with boys in positive ways. Too icky, too problematic, right? And then this one says, what's wrong with baking, and how is spending all your time on social media better than a fun activity that anyone can do? Whomever that user is, thank you very much. Exactly. How is encouraging your daughters to order junk food better than encouraging them to be skilled in something and therefore be truly independent? Agreed. Bruh. Bruh, just don't buy the book if it offends you. Agreed. Why is everyone upset about a dad wanting to teach his daughters to be strong and independent? Because this does not teach strength or independence. This is actually the complete opposite of it. Strength and independence has nothing to do with selfishness and being mean. That's exactly the antithesis of strength and independence. He's not teaching her that. He's teaching her something infinitely worse. But anyway, whether or not people agree with D. Casper's videos, it's clear this father is thoroughly involved in his children's lives and only wants the best for them. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure how altering a children's book, which shows women doing positive things, right? Baking, doing nice things for the men in their lives, which is not a sexist notion. Women do it all the time. Ask any woman who's in a happy marriage if she does things for her husband. Or just in a happy relationship. It doesn't have to be a marriage, right? Or even outside of that, right? Women do things for their fathers, for their brothers, for their friends, for their male workmates. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a woman, baking cookies and bringing them to the office for everyone to share. Happens all the damn time where I work. But no, now if a woman does anything nice, and especially if a man benefits some way from it, it's now considered a problem. This this does not compute. This anti-male mindset just does not. I can't, like, you can hear me. I can't. I I don't understand it. I'm not saying dudes are perfect. They're not. Women aren't perfect either, but I am so damn tired of this anti-male women be mean to men sentiment. No, I refuse. The only time I will be mean to a dude is if he individually has done something that necessitates that I be mean to him. But otherwise, I refuse to be mean to all men or to men in general just because dudes. I am not playing that. And if I had a kid, the first thing I would do is be like, whether the kid is male or female, be like, you see this? Don't do this. This is bad. Sharing good. Hoarding, being selfish, not being nice to people, especially when they have been nice to you, bad. It's a good thing I don't have kids, because I swear, I'd be like fighting everybody. I'd be throwing hands at everything. So I can't say that this guy is doing what's best for his daughter. If he truly cared, right, he probably wouldn't alter these books. And I'm hoping, I am sincerely hoping against hope, that he just does this for the internet clout and he's not really showing these altered pages to his daughter. But who knows? But either way, I do think that whether he intends to or not, he's setting an absolute terrible example uh, for young girls, for his daughter, because he's teaching her, whether he realizes it or not, he's teaching her to be a bad person. He's teaching her to be selfish. And I hope that it's a lesson that she won't take too well too. And hopefully maybe he will learn a little something and focus more on exposing his daughters or his sons. We don't know if he has sons. He could very well have sons, right? Exposing his children to positive examples of femininity and masculinity because we need both. We need positive examples of both. We need to stop demonizing one to uplift the other. Demonizing men does not uplift women, and vice versa. The only way we will have a healthy and happy society is if this battle of the sexes stops. We don't need to be at odds. At least not all of the damn time. But anyway, that's the video. Please let me know what you think, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Bye.